How many of you heard the rumor that Patriot Front was shut down, that Christopher Wray stepped aside, Patriot Front is no more, and I'll be looking at, make sure you tag me if you're trying to talk to me in the live chat. Want to hear what you have to say. How many heard that Patriot Front, Christopher Wray stepped down and Patriot Front immediately folded? This was a story on a satirical platform, apparently, and probably a conservative content creator. I didn't track it down, but wanting to conflate white identity with FBI and Fed operations. This is one of the things we have to be an intelligent person. We have to observe not only from our own perspective, but from the perspective of others. What is Patriot Front? Now, as you know, I don't know if it was Patriot Front members or if it was members of other groups that attacked me and slandered me for being critical, which I'm going to be, because they'll say, don't punch right, I punch stupid. And I'm going to be critical of activities that are harmful for the white participants, harmful for the overall recapture of our destiny, that end up smearing us and the work that we are doing as people who love and are committed to white well-being and putting an end to our victimization with tools that work. I'm always going to speak out. I don't care that midwits or midget wits out there or malefactors or whatever they are going to throw a tantrum over it. I'll take those slings and arrows. I've done it my entire life. Why? Because I'm a legitimate leader. I'm not putting my finger in the wind and saying, what do the TARDISes out there want to hear? And then I'll tell them that. I will tell you, I've had content creators in the white sympathetic sphere, explicit white sympathetic sphere, that have told me in private to do that, to give them what they want. I will not give you the poison you want. I will not, because what's important to me is Western kind, the people, particularly the children that are going to have to live longer with worse. That's what's important to me. The continuation, the recapture of our destiny, the continuation of our people and our civilization. What some drunk, drug-addled loser or whatever it is, what they want to hear, what they want to do, I don't care. And so I have been critical of Patriot Front, especially when in the real incident was when they were in Philadelphia and they decided they were going to go into non-white areas and paint non-white areas. No one there for you to talk to. We need to be talking to our people about white well-being, about our well-being. There is no such thing as a show of force. That is a show of farce. It's never been, you're never intimidating anyone. So these are criticisms I have. Now, there are obviously going to be people in Patriot Front and many white explicit organizations that get started in these environments. And when they get started in particular, they want to end our victimization. They want to get back for what has been done to them. They don't want what was done to them to be done to the next generation and the next generation. They want to do their duty to our ancestors who did their duty to their descendants as well as their ancestors, their descendants being us. And then sometimes they stay pure in those views. Sometimes, very often, unfortunately, they get steered off in another direction, just like in the implicit white sympathetic world of cuck servidom, they get steered off into the abstractionizing and harming the white race. In both cases, the truth, the redemption, the salvation, The way and the light is straight ahead with what's in harmony with your biospirit. And then on one side, the cucks lead you into abstractions that victimize us and a rejection of white identity. And on the other side, they lead you into the complaining about Jews or blacks and notions of violence. And they completely forget about white identity, to the point where we literally have these people will show up and say, why are you talking so much about white people? Why aren't you slandering and complaining about Jews? This is the way, the path, and the hope for the white race. And we are pulled by both sides. Now, what happened with Patriot Front and the cucks is a great example of how the cucks, especially in the coming 4 years that we're going to be facing, are going to be very much a problem. The conservative content creators are going to be very much a problem for us, because they're just living on the high horse right now. They're high on the hog with the victory of Trump and this notion that it's all abstractions. Race doesn't matter. Identity doesn't matter. And talk except for every identity but straight white male. They have, just like the meme that one of our meme mavens created, the Republicans, the Republican voters, the Republican establishment, the conservative content creators, they're all about race identity when it isn't straight white men. They're endless groups about females for the Republicans, female conservative groups, Jewish conservative groups, black conservative groups, Hispanic conservative groups, Arab, Asian, homosexual, transgender Republican conservative groups. It's all represented, but the straight white man, the thing that creates Western civilization, the vast majority of it, it's all welcomed except for us. So yeah, they're not, the Republicans and conservative content creators, they don't care about identity politics like the Democrats do, except all of identity politics with the exception of the straight white man. And therefore, the family that the straight white man creates, which is the heartbeat of any movement, of any Church of the West, of any community, of any state, of any country. So what do we have when the cock loser scum look out at the world and they read that Patriot Front has folded? What do we see? Joy. They're not worried. The conservatives are not worried about a pro-white group that is smearing their white identitarian efforts. They loathe white identity. Conservative content creators hate white identity. They fear white identity. They reject white identity because they are in the anti-white narrative, and they measure all of their deeds, good and evil, by the anti-white moral matrix, which finds that any well-being for white people, any concern for the victimization of white people, even when it's as fucking blatant as it can get, they find that immoral. They will make an abstract. Anti-whites could be hardcore anti-whites or harder core anti-whites, could be gutting white children while saying that they're gutting all white children. And conservative content creators like Salty Cracker, who's married to a Mexican and has Mexican children. And we're going to take a look at his video in just a moment, crowing about the white identity group. But even though he's going to call it feds, because anything that's white identity is immoral, illegal, and in the service of the elites to undermine the real patriots in their mind, which are the multiracial, exclude the white male community Exclude the straight white male that marries a white woman and has white babies. Excluding them. So remember, as Salty Cracker is going to be talking in just a moment, what he is condemning is not feds, it's white identity. What he is celebrating the destruction of is not feds, it's white identity. Salty, the anti-white cracker. I mean, what a joke, too, to call himself Salty Cracker as a slang for white people. What a joke when this guy rejects white identity. He's celebrating here. Now, remember, this video was widely shared and said to be, although it ended up being said to be incorrect, but said to be Patriot Front being physically assaulted by the Proud Cucks.
Blammo! That's what happened when Patriot Front ran into the Proud Boys over there. A bunch of dudes shaped like Antifa feds got the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, you mean in shape? Is that what you mean? Because white guys, if they're going to be fighting for America, they need to have a swollen ass beer belly, love handles, and have their wives getting bedded down by non-whites back home. That's the only kind of white guy that's acceptable to the cuck-servatives.
Oh no, give me back my mask. Oh, I need my mask. Oh no. Hopefully this is the last time I have to talk about this stupid fucking fake group. It's a bunch of people out there. Oh no, give me my mask.
Remember, his concern is not that they are feds that are putting a bad image on white identity and white well-being. And you'll hear this as he says it.
I'm a vampire. I'm not allowed to be out in the sun. Oh my god, I'm also allergic to fucking peanuts. There's a bunch of people that go,
well, what's happening to this guy? Look at him. I mean, he was never good looking, but what the hell?
Hey man, what you think everybody's a fed? Those are feds. Those are feds. Those are feds. Look at my hairdo, right? Right? Look at this. Look at this. Right? Look at this. See how stupid this is?
So I would just like to hear. I mean, Salty, if you hear this video, are you good with white identity? Do you object to white people being victimized on the basis of our race? Are you fine with us saying that we are a people, we are proud of being a people, and we are going to perpetuate that people by ending our victimization? Are you okay with that? Or is that not acceptable? Is it just a set of ideas like that anybody, like your wife and children, can hold?
This, right? That's dumber. That's dumber. No, man, come on, come on, man. Some people are just upset. They want to do it. No, those are feds. Shut the fuck up. They're feds, right? The feds block their. These people get arrested. I'm not saying. I can't believe I have to clarify this because some people out there are so fucking dense. I'm not saying that these people work at the FBI building and they get an FBI pension and an FBI pay.
Yeah, he's gonna connect that it was revealed that at Patriots Day, there were 26 human assets delivered by the FBI, controlled by the FBI, however they phrased it. 26 of them, 13, I think, went into the restricted area around the Capitol building, and 4 of them went into the Capitol as well. So, ergo, anybody who is concerned about white people as a race, as a people, are therefore feds. So that's what he's saying. They're human assets.
Check.
Now, just know for sure, again, you have to be multidimensional in your thinking. any type of group like Patriot Front or NJP, or they're going to have a ton of both Fed sources in there and sources from even journalists, undercover journalists, and people supplying information for journalists from anti-white organizations. Who knows? Maybe even the ADL. All kinds of groups are inserting people into these things to steer, to get information, to etc. That's just the nature of those types of entities. I've been doing this for decades. It's the reality, okay? But that doesn't mean that white identity and concern for white people and our country and what we create is illegitimate. And that our concern for what we create and what we created and create usurped by this ideas group, that it's not a people, it's just ideas. Your Mexican wife is not going to be able to create America.
A lot of these dumb fuckers are just stupid idiots who end up joining a group that is completely compromised.
And you might say to yourself, you've never seen this clown before. If he's a clown, maybe not. Maybe he's a great guy and he's just got to get his head steered on right. What's the big deal? His audience, live audience, is like 5 times that of Lil Nicky.
Of assets. So like that one dude right there is a Fed. He puts together a group. The group is predominantly other FBI assets, people who've committed a crime and are told, listen, go to this over here and just go along with it. And that's your parole essentially. And then, yeah, you'll end up roping in a few fucking people with fucked up households looking for.
And look at that outcome there. Look at the difference that I say. Like, why don't all these people go and destroy Salty Crack? They come after me. I say that the people getting involved are pure of heart and spirit, and that they then can be misguided after that. I've seen it happen. This guy says, oh, they're all fucking drug addicts. Oh, sorry for my language. And they're from bad households and they're all inbred. And this is all what he's implying. But somehow, no attack on this guy.
For a group.
It's almost as if the people who attack me are actual, like, hardcore anti-whites LARPing as those concerned for the well-being of white people.
A gang mentality for white people or some stupid shit like this, right? Yeah. But for every one dude who joins this group, 13 or 14 other dudes are going to be people who are responding to FBI handlers. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Surprise! The FBI's Fed front over here is going to shut down the same day that Christopher Wray announced that he was going to retire early. The people at Patriot Front were like, oh yeah, our work here is done. How's your work? You guys hate Donald Trump, right? That was the whole thing, right? Donald Trump was a Jew or some shit like this. So you guys hated him. But now he's in office. Now you just get no. What happened here was this was a group.
Well, now that's legitimate from him. The idiots. I'm not saying they're from Patriot Front, but the idiots complaining that Trump is a Jew or he's run by Jews, and it's all going to be worse because it's all going to be service to the Jews.
And the deep state and the apparatus use them to tell liberals that's us.
That's what they say. So here, listen.
Hated him. But now he's in office. Now you just get no. What happened here was this was a group, and the deep state and the apparatus use them to tell liberals that's us. See those people who love America so much, right?
So the people who care. Now remember, what is Patriot Front to Salty Cracker? White identity. And so his conclusion is the government creates that group that's concerned with the well-being of white people who are being victimized on the basis of their birth in order to smear the real conservatives, the people, the actual good people that think it's all in a set of ideas.
Right? All those conservative white straight males who tell their wives how to vote Yeah, it's them over there. And then these stupid fucking goofballs do stupid shit like
If we told our wives how to live, it would be a lot better of a country.
that's right. And now
I guess in Salty's household, I can just see her right now, the Mexican wife. She tells him everything to do. I've watched Mexican women push around their husbands like you wouldn't believe. And in fact, didn't we have somebody in the audience? Was it Mestizo Carf that said he's watched the exact same phenomenon?
now they're going to shut down. They never ever got arrested. When they got detained outside of one of these stupid fucking events, the cops they put them in zip ties and they kept their masks on them. I mean, it's fucking insane. That's fucking Antifa doesn't even get that level of protection. They're able to keep their sunglasses, their hat, their fucking stupid Fauci masks over here. Keep all of that on. Trying to do over here. So now you are finito. Your stupid LARP over here has been disbanded. Coincidence, 24 hours after Christopher Wray resigns, the Patriot Front shuts down. So the headline for CNN's article is, no feds. There were no feds at January 6th. Report finds. But if you read the report, it goes, no, there's, and by the way, I don't buy these numbers for a second.
And let's see if the conservative establishment wants to name. I mean, it's the obvious name. I created the name. We promulgated it. I even showed the multiple videos when Lil Nicky tried to steal it from me with his massive audience. I even made a video where I showed week after week how I put it together to be called Patriot Day and why it should be called that, Patriots Day. He stopped attempting to say that it was his, that he had just thought of it out of nowhere. But it's the obvious name for it. It's the only sensible name. Let's see what, over the next 4 years, what the conservative content creators, you think they'll allow it to even that much? We'll see.
Report in the article where it says,
especially if it can be connected to somebody who cares about white people, then they definitely won't use it.
As no feds. This is the semantics they get into. No feds.
Okay, so that's enough of that.